Welcome, collectors and heavy equipment enthusiasts. Thank you once again for joining me for an all-new edition of Diecast Emporium. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing the Motorart 1:50 scale Volvo EC220E hydraulic excavator. Now, this model has been out for the better part of 10 years now, but this version of this model has only been out for about a year, and it features Volvo's new and improved orange safety railing package. So I'm hoping that since they made some revisions to this might also see some improved functionality and detail. We are going to find out together. If you've never seen a Volvo 1/50th scale model by Motorart, 99.9% of the time, they come in this style packaging. You have the model in this clear window design, Volvo on the left-hand side, Volvo on the right-hand side sleeve as well. The name of the model on the bottom of the box. If we turn the box around to the back, you can see a picture of the real Volvo EC220E at work. However, this picture of it has it with a hydraulic impact hammer. This machine, though, has a bucket on it in the box, not an hydraulic impact hammer. It would be nice, however, if some of these diecast companies would include other implements or attachments with their models. This sleeve, or this side, has the EC220E crawler excavator diecast model 1/50 scale. This product is a scale model and not a toy, made in China, and the warning label. So, with the need-to-know info out of the way, let's begin the unboxing. These unboxings really are very straightforward, very simple. Open up this side of the box. As I said, the model is housed in two plastic pull-apart formers. You will need to cut a couple pieces of tape the first time you take this out of the box. So I always suggest using a razor or an X-Acto knife. Do a little bit of surgical cutting. Make sure you cut the tape and not yourself. That would not be good. Once you've done that, there are no twist ties, but there are a couple potentially breakable, fragile pieces on here, so be careful what you grab onto. Lift your model straight up and out of the box. There's no assembly to do. Your model is complete, and you are ready to display it. Okay, need to get some information out of the way first before we begin the model review. Truth be told, 99.9% of the models that I review on this channel, I unbox and examine and review them first before I film a review, obviously, so that I can review them, show you guys what they do, so that I kind of have some idea what I'm talking about. And when I unboxed this for the first time, when it was shipped to me, this sprocket right here, or this idler, was completely severed and broken off, which broke my track. So I had to do some repairing, and I point that out because anytime a model arrives to me in rough shape or broken, I always like to make a mention of it during the review video, so if any collectors have similar issues, we can report that to the people that make these models, in this case Motorart, because if this is a reoccurring issue, perhaps it has something to do with packaging or the way these models are shipped, so that we can prevent that issue from happening in future models. So I want to make sure I get that out. Luckily, in this case, with the help of Gorilla Glue, I was able to make a satisfactory repair, so you can't really tell that anything happened. But it is important to mention that I had some pretty serious shipping damage done on mine, but thankfully I was able to mend a repair. Let's continue the review now in the tradition that we always like to do on this channel by taking a look at the detail and decal application. Since the model is already facing this way, let's start on the right-hand side. You can see EC220E Volvo, a warning label on the stick. Here's the large and orange safety railing package that I wanted to point out before. On previous versions of this model, of course, they were not orange. I am happy to report that they appear to be metal, thin, and robust, and most importantly, to scale, so very pleased with that. The tracks are linked, as you can see, and as I, unfortunately, had to link them all back together on one side of the track, so I can attest firsthand that they are linked. On this side, or the front side of the excavator, I should say, we can see some hydraulic lines. Your 4-tooth bucket. Obviously, the 220 is not a very large excavator in the real world, and that is very clear and evident on this 1/50th scale version of it. If we have it angled off to the side, we can see more orange safety railings. The the windshield wiper on the front of the cab, the forward-facing lights. The interior is very nicely done on this particular excavator with an operator seat, some joysticks, and some foot pedals, which are very legible. You can make them out very clearly inside the cab. The door on this model, unfortunately, does not open. The mirrors, all three of them, 1, 2, 3, have silver reflective surfaces, which look excellent. The small Volvo construction logo is present right next to the door latch. Volvo here, EC220E. The vent decaling is perforated, but not see-through. In fact, if I go over it with my pointer, you can hear that it is indented and perforated. The track frames themselves, in my opinion, if they arrive in one piece, are presented rather nicely and replicate that of the real machine very nice, including the main drive sprocket, which in my opinion perhaps is the most impressive part of the whole assembly and looks pretty realistic. This side of the excavator, the back, looking at the main counterweight, again, it encapsulates and captures the back of the EC220E perfectly. More warning labels on the back, some lights, and then Volvo, which actually is painted on. It's not really a decal, and again, looks pretty good. Looking from the top-down version, here we have an opening engine hatch, which allows you to see a green Volvo engine inside, and it does close with a satisfactory close. And it sits flush with the rest of the instruments on top. You can see more hydraulic lines going down into the machine, and a translucent or clear-through warning beacon on top of the cab. Looking underneath the excavator, not a whole lot to write home about, but you can see the different bolt detailing on each of the track frames. The way it's assembled to the excavator, obviously, is with a screw that's hidden behind this plate right here, and you can see more screws on how it attaches to the body. That's the detail and decal portion of this review. Let's transition to functionality. Okay, this excavator moves on its tracks, so let's take a look at the track functionality. They are linked together. As I said before, you can move them by hand. I am not going to be too aggressive with this, obviously, because of the thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video with me having to do a repair on these. Unfortunately, this excavator is going to be more of a static model for me, and I'm not going to demonstrate or potentially break the tracks again. But I can rotate it 360 degrees, as you can see here. Already mentioned the opening engine hatch. Fortunately, the door does not open. How about the main excavator functionality with the boom, stick, and bucket? Let's try the high end of things now. Your boom will go up to a height of there. Let's take our stick out as far as it will go. And as you can see, it closes up to the full extent of the cylinder. No complaints there. Your bucket will go out to here. Again, completely retracting into the cylinder jacket. No complaints whatsoever. So far, our functionality is performing flawlessly. How about at the lower end of things? Let's go down as far as it will go. And as you can see, the cylinder is almost completely retracted back into its jacket, so you can achieve a pretty aggressive digging angle. The last pose I want to show you is it folded up for transport. So let's bring everything back in to fully retract. And while the bucket perhaps does not curl up as tight as I would like it to see, you can achieve a relatively decent folded up and parked or transport mode, which allows us to bring in our Diecast Masters Lowboy and put the excavator on and show you what it would look like there. For the last pose, let's bring in a dump truck and have our excavator working with him. And there you go. The cylinders are strong enough on mine that whatever angle you pose the machine, the cylinders appear to be strong enough to hold it, and they will take it. So overall, I'm going to give this EC220E excavator an A in terms of the functionality that's present with it. So that'll do it for this review. In conclusion, the Motorart 1/50th scale Volvo EC220E excavator is a good option for you if you are looking for an excavator in this size class, or if you are a fan of Volvo construction equipment in particular. These machines are not necessarily that expensive when we talk about other potential excavators in the 150th scale marketplace, specifically if you are looking for something in this size range. As always, I am Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comment section below and share it with your friends. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to us here on Diecast Emporium if you haven't yet already. And last but not least, take a look at your screen right now, because if you enjoyed this video and what we do here, I'm going to put up a couple more suggested links, so be sure to check out those videos. I can guarantee you'll probably like those as well. Thanks again. Take care. Be well. I'll see you in the next review.